Sovereign by C.J. Sansom. Narrated by Stephen Crossley.
Chapter 1. It was dark under the trees, only a little moonlight penetrating the half-bare branches. The ground was thick with fallen leaves. The horses' hooves made little sound, and it was hard to tell whether we were still on the road. A wretched track, Barrack had called it earlier, grumbling yet again about the wildness of this barbarian land I'd brought him to. I had not replied, for I was bone-tired, my poor back sore and my legs in their heavy riding boots as stiff as boards. I was worried, too, for the strange mission that now lay close ahead was weighing on my mind. I lifted a hand from the reins and felt in my coat pocket for the Archbishop's seal, fingering it like a talisman and remembering Cranmer's promise. This will be safe enough. There will be no danger. I'd left much care behind me as well, for 6 days before I had buried my father in Lichfield. Barrack and I had had 5 days hard riding northward since then, the roads in a bad state after that wet summer of 1541. We rode into wild country where many villages still consisted of the old longhouses, people and cattle crammed together in hovels of thatch and sod. We left the Great North Road that afternoon at Flaxby. Barrack wanted to rest the night at an inn, but I insisted we ride on, even if it took all night. I reminded him we were late. Tomorrow would be the 12th of September, and we must reach our destination well before the king arrived. The road, though, had soon turned to mud, and as night fell we had left it for a drier track that veered to the northeast through thick woodland and bare fields where pigs rooted among the patches of yellow stubble. The woodland turned to forest, and for hours now we had been picking our way through it. We lost the main track once, and it was the devil's own job to find it again in the dark. All was silent, save for the whisper of fallen leaves and an occasional clatter of brushwood, as a boar or wildcat fled from us. The horses, laden with panniers containing our clothes and other necessities, were as exhausted as Barrack and I. I could feel Genesis's tiredness, and Suki, Barrack's normally energetic mare, was content to follow his slow pace. "We're lost," he grumbled. They said at the inn to follow the main path south through the forest. Anyway, it must be daylight soon, I said. "Then we'll see where we are." Barrack grunted wearily. "Feels like we've ridden to Scotland. I wouldn't be surprised if we get taken for ransom." I didn't reply, tired at his complaining, and we plodded on silently. My mind went back to my father's funeral the week before. The little group of people round the grave, the coffin lowered into the earth. My cousin Bess, who had found him dead in his bed when she brought him a parcel of food. "I wish I had known how ill he was," I told her when we returned to the farm afterwards. "It should have been me that looked after him." She shook her head wearily. "You were far away in London, and we'd not seen you for over a year." Her eyes had an accusing look. "I've had difficult times of my own, Bess, but I would have come." She sighed. "It was old William Poor dying last summer undid him. They'd wrestled to get a profit from the farm these last few years, and he seemed to give up." She paused. "I said he should contact you, but he wouldn't. God sends us hard trials. The droughts last summer, now the floods this year. I think he was ashamed of the money troubles he'd got into. Then the fever took him." I nodded. It had been a shock to learn that the farm where I had grown up, and which now was mine, was deep in debt. My father had been near 70, his steward William not much younger. Their care of the land hadn't been all it should, and the last few harvests had been poor. To get by, he had taken a mortgage on the farm with a rich landowner in Lichfield. The first I knew of it was when the mortgagee wrote to me immediately after Father's death to say he doubted the value of the land would clear the debt. Like many gentry in those days, he was seeking to increase his acreage for sheep and granting mortgages to elderly farmers at
Sample complete. Ready to continue?